Mark Burns now. He is a member of President Trump's Evangelical Council and the co-founder and CEO of the Now Television Network, which is a Christian television network based out of South Carolina. Pastor Burns, thank you for being with us. The president has been so adamant about this that he says that he'll override governors. Who should be making the call here?
Well, I think the president has made it very clear that, to the evangelical community, and not just the evangelical community, but the religious community as a whole. That includes Muslims, that includes Jews, that includes, all faiths that are represented in the United States of America, that he is a fighter for religious freedom. And he is a president that, again, since day one of his presidency, has been defending and supporting, religious freedom and making sure, reminding this country that religion is a essential piece of the American operating system, so to speak. It is so valuable to millions of people in this nation, and so him supporting what the CDC also is supporting, that religious organizations, churches, imams, mosques, they should be reopened in this nation.
Mark, a Catholic church in Houston has had to close its doors after 5 people, including 2 priests, tested positive for the coronavirus. It's not clear whether one of the priests that had died actually had a positive case of COVID-19. The diocese says that the church was operating at 20% capacity and had taken a lot of the precautions that we've seen in those CDC guidelines, including wearing masks, hand sanitizing. Can you really say that it's safe to reopen even with those precautions?
Well, I think it should be left up to the churches. I think it should be left up to the citizens. I think it should be left up to those, again, to suggest that churches are non-essential. I think is a slap in the face to the religious, to our religious freedoms in this nation. To say we need you to practice the CDC guidelines, absolutely. We've been doing that here in South Carolina. I can tell you right now, just within the African-American community, over 33 bishops and pastors have died very recently due to the COVID-19, COVID-19 outbreak. So we know it's a very real virus, and we know that it can be deadly. But we also know that to simply make churches, to dictate to churches and to say you are essentially a non-essential aspect of American life, that is a false, and that should not be done. And of course, the people in this nation are rising up and they're declaring that we are essential. Churches, ministries, nonprofits who are ministering to the spirits and the souls of Americans in a very dire situation that we're in. That's an essential aspect of American life, and they should be reopened. And I'm standing behind the president. I'm thankful that he's been bold in this initiative.
Pastor Burns, I want to ask you separately a question on a controversial comment that we heard from the former Vice President Joe Biden, who is the presumptive Democratic nominee. He said in an interview, if you're having a problem figuring out if you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black. That is a direct quote. I want to get your reaction on that.
Well, this is the true face of the Democratic Party, the racist, plantation Democratic Party. I mean, who is, sleepy Joe Biden? When did he become an expert on who's black and who's not black? When did he become an expert? He is trampling on the deaths of the millions of African Americans who have died in slavery and in other aspects of an oppressed government when they fought for us to have a right, number one, to be free, and number two, they fought that we have a right to vote in this country. The thousands of undocumented African Americans that was hanged by the newts of a Democratic KKK society, but yet Uncle Joe Biden is now telling us that we are not black simply because we support Donald Trump. How dare he? Shame on you, sleepy Joe Biden. Shame on you. For this is a true face of the racist plantation Democratic Party, and millions of African Americans are rising up, reminding those that supporting this party is a proof that the Democrats do not have it in our best interest as African Americans. Donald Trump has done way more for African Americans as his presidency, fighting with one hand behind his back than President Barack Obama or any Democratic Party for that matter. So I'm happy. Hashtag Joe Biden is a racist is trending on Twitter.